skateboarding is hard. As you can see in pretty much every single video that I've made.
Oh my god, I didn't die. I didn't die.
Not gonna lie, sometimes it does put me off. And that was until I came across a certain video. So there's this guy called Ricky Glaser who is actually not just any old guy, he's a pro skater. And he decided to react to my skating series. Turns out, watching this video was enough motivation for me to get back out there and start practicing again. I actually think I did it. I took all the tips and advice that I could from his video and just kept practicing. So without further ado, here is an update on my skating progress.
Number one on my list of things that I'm going to try and do is not die. Then again, accidents happen and I have deadlines. So, extension perhaps?
Disclaimer, I'm a clown, don't listen to anything I say, that was a joke. So I went on Google, decided to find some new places that I could go and skate that wasn't like £200. So I found out this car park was free for 60 minutes and 60 minutes only.
It's been a while, but I'm back on my hot girl shit, getting my life together. Just kidding. I'm only making this video because basically I have like 3 deadlines that are all due next week, and I'm like, you know what's a good idea? Skateboarding. Hopefully you'll find these videos helpful. I've made like a couple in the past, and everyone's been like, you didn't upload for 6 months, like where have you gone, bitch? Nowhere, still in the same place.
I got a comment from someone which was basically saying that I haven't uploaded a skating video in a year.
So I'm about to go out and like try some new tricks. For some reason having the camera on like always pushes me to do stupid shit. So yeah, hopefully that happens today.
So starting from the beginning, I thought I'd find some new places to go skate, and what better place than just right next to the library during exam season. I wanted to work on some more fundamental skills because my bestie Ricky said it was a good idea.
That's a practical trick right there.
Okay, picking up and putting the board down. This is something that I'm trying to be more confident on my board, which involves like a lot of picking up the board, putting it down, getting back on it, picking it up, putting it down, getting on it, and like just genuinely doing that for like, I want to say like a good half an hour. I was just going up and down this one road, just like doing that same thing, and it was right in front of the library as well, so people definitely thought I was fucking crazy, but that's something that I'm doing to like get good.
I also started practicing doing some squatting on the board, so I'm more used to bending my legs because, again, big up Ricky, said that's pretty useful.
Yeah, as usual, let's see some more bend in the knees.
Pushing. And also getting used to my trucks being a little bit looser as I'm getting more stable on the board so I can turn more easily. Pretty handy.
Okay, so I know I say this all the time, but I haven't been skating in like ages, so I think I'm just not a very like regular person. I'm just kidding, I actually do poo like once a day. Anyway, I don't really like go skating very regularly, but then sometimes I'll just have weeks where I'll just want to go out like every single night.
And it turns out this was one of those weeks. So I ended up going out quite a bit, and I actually think I got somewhere with it. Alright, I promise I'm waving at one of my friends, I'm not just having a mentee bee. So day 2, I was raring to go.
Okay, so what I've been working on basically is scooping the board, which is really, really useful if you want to learn how to pop shove it.
At first I was finding it a little bit tricky to find the right amount of force to use, and I kept losing control of the board. Okay, but then I got the hang of it, and I was very chuffed about it, clearly. Again, it's time for a happy dance. I was pretty happy with the progress since this is what it looked like in my second video, and this is actually behind the scenes footage, never seen before, never released, because it was such a flop that literally there was no popping involved, because I literally had no control over where my board was going. So what I actually did practically to get the hang of popping the board was using my hands as my feet. So I'd get my hands, I'd put them on the board, and I'd just really feel how much force that I needed to put in, and I would do it again and again and again until I got it right.
I have actually found that my control over my board, like when I pop in the board, is actually gotten better somehow, which makes sense because I guess I'm more used to being on the board.
So yeah, I was a little clumsy before, not too bad, just not very consistent. So I decided to do the same thing literally a billion times. Basically the point I'm trying to make is practicing loads on repeat as fast as you can helps you progress the fastest that you can. No shit. Doesn't always go to plan though. There's always one.
So yeah, I can actually do manuals that are more than like 5 seconds, which is really nice.
I've been practicing manuals like in the kitchen, but just because like I had nothing else to do. And when I'm procrastinating doing work, I'll stand in the kitchen and just like talk to my friends whilst I'm just on my skateboard, just fucking around.
So on my first day of skateboarding ever, I could do a manual for 0 seconds. Yeah, I couldn't get that balance right until my second video where I lasted for 1 whole second. What a slay. Then in my 7 day skating challenge, I got up to about 3 seconds, which I was pretty happy with. And which brings me up to where I am now. I actually got a new record, so ooh, back manuals, let's see how long I can last for. And look at that, we got to 5 seconds.
Another thing that I'm gonna do is practicing going off curbs, because that's kind of important if you want to like move around like on your board when you're just like not in a flat car park. If you were in the street, is what I'm trying to say. Basically, if you were in the street, it's kind of important. I realise if I want to actually move around, I need to have the balls and just move off the curb, which isn't that hard really. I mean, no skill involved, you just need to be a bit ballsy, so we're gonna see how that goes.
Alright, I would not call that ballsy at all, but nice first try, I guess.
I know what I have to do, but I'm literally so nervous to do it that I can't do it.
Okay, I've come specifically to this car park as well because I know that it has a curb that I can maybe get over, so I'm gonna try going off a curb now.
I don't know why I thought that going to a different car park would help, but still looking pretty silly and goofy.
Okay, I keep like half going for it and then just not committing to it and then just falling off like the front of my board, which is so embarrassing that I just can't like commit to it and go for it. But I'm gonna try it again because there's like a bit that's a little bit lower, so I'm thinking maybe if I just like work up to it.
So as I said, I had the bright idea of working up to the big bit of the curb using the sloping bit. And it worked!
I actually think I did it. It didn't look very cool, but like, it doesn't even look that much different. Like, the height of the curb that I was going over is like basically the same, but I think I just like committed to it a bit more and like didn't put as much weight like on the front. I kind of like lifted it up a little bit, so I was putting most of my weight on my back foot. That kind of helped. And I think just going for it, honestly. But yay, I did it. So I'm gonna get out of this car park because it's actually not my favourite. I'm just not vibing with it. So I'm gonna go to another car park.
Alright, that brings me on to my next point, which is trying out new places. A really important part of my progress was exploring more and getting used to getting around on my board. So basically getting from A to B.
People like to see your willingness to try and openness to try new things, and I think that's what they relate to.
This did mean that I had to deal with some shite paths and some awkward security guards as well.
Also, side note, the security guys just came over and like saw me and like looked at me, and I just waved at them and then just drove off. So hopefully I won't get kicked out.
Spoilers, I didn't.
Okay, of course, I'm also going to be working on my ollies, so that just is a bit of a piss take. I just have to keep jumping around. I end up getting really fucking sweaty when I'm doing that because I'm actually putting in so much energy into like trying to leave the ground, which is really funny.
So in my last videos, my ollies were okay, but they were what people called rocket ollies.
I realised that apparently you need to push down with your front foot, so I know what I need to do, but I don't know how to actually do it in person.
My main goal was to use my front foot to push the nose down and even out the board whilst I was still in the air. And then on top of this, I also had to balance the goal of getting up as high as possible, and for this I had to flex my knees and practice squatting low on the board. And so I did this on repeat for hours and hours. Definitely a piss take. The next day I found out that a lot of the practice was actually adding up, and I saw quite a bit of improvement, which was great. And would you look at that? See how even my board is in midair? Which looks insane considering this is how I started. But then look at me now. I want to thank my mum, my dad and Jimmy Neutron for this blessing. Of course I had to do a little happy dance to celebrate. I am so glad there was no one around in this car park to see my dance moves, because let's be honest, I don't think anyone would be able to handle this. But look at that one! It's pretty high and also perfectly horizontal, so I also tried doing it whilst I was moving once. Yeah, maybe in the next video.
But I'm thinking of doing a separate video on ollies if you guys are interested in that, like how I learned to ollie, I guess. I'm still not 100% there, like it still looks a bit funky when I'm doing it, but like I can leave the ground on like all 4 wheels at the same time, which is slay considering I started like really bad. Yeah, if you look back at old footage, you can definitely tell that I've improved, which yay! I should get the resilience award. I don't know if you guys remember having the resilience award though. It was like basically if you were really shit and then like you tried. And that's it.
I'm gonna stop myself right there because actually one of the main takeaways from the video was that I should be less hard on myself.
She's pretty hard on herself, like she was killing it.
Sometimes progress is slow and that's okay. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video and let me know what tricks you think I should try next because I know that I threw some pretty obscure ones in there.
That's such a like obscure thing. I've never seen a beginner try to do this before.
At the end of the day, these videos aren't tutorials, and they're not even meant to be inspirational, but if anything, they're realistic. So be nicer to yourself. Alright, so I'll smell you in the next video, and stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you next time. Adios!